Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I hope you would have learned part first of this lecture, formal links and discourse analysis. So this lecture is the extension of my previous lecture. In part first, we introduce and discuss in detail formal links and discourse analysis. We also learn how cohesion differs from coherence, and we discuss in detail two cohesive devices such as verb forms and parallelism. In the second part of lecture, we will have a detailed discussion on other cohesive devices. So let's begin our today's lecture and learn some more cohesive devices in discourse analysis. So first we will discuss referring expressions. When we speak or when we write, we use certain words whose meanings are dependable on other words or the context in which these words are used. Let's discuss referring expressions. So these are words. What referring expressions are? Words whose meanings can only be discovered by referring to other words or element of the context which are clear to both senders and receiver. That's very important, that the context in which these words are used. So the context must be clear to both sender and receiver. For example, I am sender and you are receiver. Until and unless the context is not clear to both of us, the meaning cannot be discovered from the context. So for example, if I say I ate it, so you will know the meaning of it if I already mentioned something earlier. Suppose I say I ate an apple, and then I say I ate it just an hour ago. So the meaning of it, which is a pronoun, can only be discovered if we know the meaning of the word apple. So in order to know the meaning of the it, the meaning of the it is dependable on other word, and that is apple. Or if, for example, we two are friends. Last night we had dinner somewhere and we ate fish. And now we say that the dinner was delicious and we enjoyed it a lot. So I use it for the dinner. The dinner was delicious and we enjoyed it a lot. So if I want to know the meaning of it, I have to focus on other word, and that is dinner. The most obvious example of them is third person pronoun. It's not only the third person pronoun which works in this way. The meaning of this and that, and here and there have also to be found either formally in another part of discourse or contextual from the word. For example, if I say that I was there last night, so if I use the word there, you will know the meaning of there only if you have the idea that what am I referring to. Because you ask me, okay, that where were you last night? And I tell you that I was there. So if the sender, you see that if the context is clear to both sender and receiver, then the meaning of referring expression would be clear. For example, I told you, if you ask me that where were you last night, and I tell you that I was there. So the meaning of there can be discovered from the context if the context is clear both to sender and receiver. And for example, the meaning of here can also be discovered from the context in which the word here is used. If I say come here, so the first example of referring expression we have in the form of anaphoric reference. So what is anaphora? In anaphora, first we use a word, most often a noun, follows by a pronoun. For example, if I say Ahmad is my best friend, and then I say that he is of my age, and then I say he. So first I use a word and then follows by a referring expression. So the identity of someone or something to be given once at the beginning and thereafter referred to as she or he or it. If I say that I ate a mango and then I say it was delicious. So first I use a word noun mango. I ate a mango. And then I say it was very delicious. So I use it for mango. First a word, a noun, and then we use a referring expression for it. It is known as Anaphoric Reference. Now, this makes a kind of chain running through the discourse in which each expression is linked to another. So in this way, through referring expression, we connect one sentence with another. We are talking and we are discussing formal links in discourse analysis. So how one sentence is connected with another one in discourse, that is through referring expression. So we connect one sentence with another with the help of referring expression. For example, if I say a pineapple and then I say ate. So first I use a word a pineapple and then I use it for it, and it for it. So these all it's here connect a pineapple. In this way, we will have a proper connection between sentences. So, foreign language teachers assuming that comprehension's difficulty arise from new vocabulary. So, therefore, they will use referring expressions and then they will interpret those referring expressions to the students. Can overlook the difficulty students can have in interpreting the meaning of referring expressions within discourse. So the meaning of these referring expressions are interpreted by the teachers who are teaching English as a foreign language or who are teaching any language as a foreign language. Now we have cataphoric references or Cataphora. So in cataphoric reference, first we use a pronoun or a referring expression and then we use a word, most often a noun. Let's discuss it. When we are given the pronoun first and then kept in suspense as to its identity which is revealed later. For example, if we say here he comes, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan. So you see that first I use the pronoun he, here he comes. And then I say the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan. So here he refers to Imran Khan. First I use a pronoun, a referring expression, and then I use a noun. So this referring expression is known as cataphoric references. Another example, nobody seemed to know where they came from. You see, first is use a pronoun, a referring expression, but there they were in the forest. You see again, but there they, a pronoun, in the forest, and Kanga and baby Rao. So two persons are here, one is Kanga and other is baby Rao. So first they are introduced with the help of referring expression they, and then they are given name Kanga and baby Rao. Now referring expression fulfill a dual purpose of unifying the text. They depend upon some of the subject matter remaining the same and of economy because they save from having to repeat the identity of what we are talking about again and again. So here the purpose of referring expression is given. So then referring expressions have dual purpose. Purpose number first, that it saves time. And purpose number two, not to repeat a word again and again. Here mentioned for the purpose of economy, saving the time, and second one, that we are talking about again and again, not to repeat a word again and again. So for example, if you're writing an essay about a famous personality, you don't have to name him or her again and again, because he or she might have a big name, or the name, it may take time from you if you are mentioning or referring again and again that name. So the first purpose, that it is for the purpose of economy, to save the time, and the second, to make sentences and discourse attractive and fascinating one, not to repeat a word again and again. Another cohesive device is known as repetition and lexical chains. Repetition of words can create the same sort of chain as pronoun. So they are just like pronoun. And there are some good reasons for preferring it. In Britain, mother tongue learners of English are discouraged from using repetitions on the ground that it is bad styles. So in foreign language, the mothers or the parents discourage their children not to repeat the same expression again and again, because this is a bad style, and encourage to use the device known as elegant repetition. Now, what is elegant repetition? You have to use a synonym for it, for a word, but don't repeat the same word again and again, because it looks awkward to use the same word again and again. So therefore, it's better to use elegant repetition. You have to repeat the same idea but in different words, most probably in synonym. Where synonyms are more general words or phrases are used, so instead of writing, right? If, for example, a child writes or a child says the pineapple, the pineapple, the pineapple, the pineapple, so they might write instead of, because if you write the pineapple, the pineapple, it looks awkward. You are repeating the same word again and again. One is that you are using pronoun, that's referring expression, and one is elegant, you can say repetition, right? You are using elegant repetition instead of pineapple. For example, they may write the pineapple, the luscious fruit, or meal, or the tropical luxury. So instead of the pineapple, the luscious fruit, or meal, or the tropical luxury, so these are elegant repetition for the word pineapple. One is that for the pineapple we are using it. That would be known as referring expressions. And instead of repeating the same word, we are using elegant repetition like synonym or more general words for the word you are repeating. The kind of link that we choose will depend upon the kind of discourse we are seeking to create. An elegant repetition is not always desirable. It may sound pretentious in casual conversations or create dangerous ambiguity in the legal documents. So when you are writing like a legal documents, when you're dealing with the legal documents, or you are in a conversations which may create dangerous ambiguity, then you have to avoid what? Elegant repetition. You don't have to use general words then, because it will create ambiguity. So therefore, that elegant repetition will not work all the time. But when we are using elegant repetition in discourse, so it means that we are linking one word with another or one sentence with another as a cohesive device. Another cohesive device is known as substitution. By substitution, we mean that we replace one word for another. For example, if I ask you, do you speak English? And you tell me, yes, I do. So you are using do in place of yes, I speak English. Now, another kind of formal link between sentences is the substitution of words like do or so for a word or a group of words which have appeared in an earlier sentence. Do you like mangoes? Yes, I do. So you are using do for mangoes. Do you like mangoes? Yes, I do. You say, yes, I like mangoes. But in place of like mangoes, you are using do. You can say, yes, I think so. So I think so is also replacing like mangoes, right? For example, if I ask you that, do you love your country? And you tell me, yes, I do. So you are replacing do for love your country. So this is substitution. Another cohesive device is known as ellipses. Sometimes we don't even need to provide a substitute for a word or a phrase which has already been said. We can simply omit it and know that the missing part can be reconstructed quite successfully. Instead of answering, would you like a glass of beer? With yes, I would like a glass of beer. You don't have to say yes, I would like a glass of beer. We can just say yes, I would. So you are not replacing a word, you are just omitting and it is understood. So the rest is understood. For example, would you like to go with me? And you tell me, yes, I would. So you don't say, yeah, I would love to go with you. You say, I would. So by saying I would, so it is understood the rest of the sentence. So by ellipsis, you are omitting something, but you are not substituting. Another cohesive device we have conjunction. Yet another type of formal relation between sentences is provided by those words and phrases which explicitly draw attention to the type of relationship which exists between one sentence or clause and another. So these are conjunction. They can simply add more information. So we use conjunction to add more information. We use like in addition, furthermore, for example. So what has already been said, we can use furthermore, add, so that, and in addition, or elaborate or exemplify something. We use, for example, thus, in other words, and they can contrast new information with old information or put another side to the argument. So then you can say, or on the other hand, however, or conversely. So they may relate new information to what has already been given in terms of causes. So you can use so, consequently, because, for this reason, or in time. You can say formally, then, in, and next. Or they may indicate a new departure or a summary. Then you can use by the way, while, or to sum up, anyway. So these are different conjunctions. Sometimes when you want to add information, you can say furthermore, add to that, or you can say in addition. Sometimes you want to elaborate something, you can say for example, for instance, etc. Or sometimes you are talking about in contrast of something, you can say on the other hand, or blah blah blah. So this was all about cohesive devices or formal links in discourse which connect one sentence with another or one paragraph with another. So thank you so much. Please provide your valuable feedback and suggestion. If you have any question, please you can put in your question in comment box. Thank you so much.